I used to be a huge fan of the YouTube channel The Take. They're a film analysis channel I watched religiously for years, and they currently have 1.5 million subscribers. They regularly release smart, interesting commentary on films and TV shows, and I watched everything. I did notice that their videos had a subtle feminist bias, but it felt subtle rather than in your face. Then, in 2019, they began creating a Tropes series analyzing popular tropes in fiction. It started with the cool girl. The videos were interesting, but they repeated the same arguments. Women have historically been male creations rather than whole people, and that newer depictions of females are more rounded. They constantly shift blame from women onto social pressures. They rarely discuss how women treat other women or acknowledge that sometimes women, shockingly, behave badly because they're not good people. Their content shifted from smart analysis to overtly feminist analysis. So here's my take on some of their videos and why I believe they get it wrong. My name is Zarina Matcha, and you're watching The Rational Female. If you enjoy my content, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. The Bad Mother Trope looks at abusive mothers in film, such as Margaret White from Carrie and Livia Soprano from The Sopranos. Livia, Tony Soprano's mother, is narcissistic, self-absorbed, deeply manipulative, and sociopathic. She is a terrible mother, and the show revolves around Tony exploring this toxic relationship. The Take states that the dark side of the mother represents that motherhood exacts a strong psychological toll on a woman. I'm fairly certain that if they made a video about bad fathers, it wouldn't be sympathetic. It would simply call out toxic behavior. Bad mothers who abuse their children are not victims, they are just bad women, full stop. The Nice Guy Trope discusses men who are clingy, insecure, and hopelessly romantic, men who behave in overly nice ways towards women in hopes of sex or a relationship. Rather than treating these men as insecure or inexperienced individuals trying to figure out how to approach the opposite sex, The Take holds them personally responsible for their actions. They are judged by sterner standards when their only real flaw is awkwardness. Yet, when a mother is abusive towards her children, The Take redirect blame towards society rather than give those women personal responsibility. It's ridiculous. When analyzing obsessive women like Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction and Annie Wilkes from Misery, The Take refers to them as a male nightmare rather than simply women behaving badly. Once again, women are framed as victims while men are automatically in the wrong. The Take argues that crazy single women are portrayed as a danger to the family unit. Yet characters like Alex Forrest or Peyton from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle are disrupting the family unit by pursuing married men. Any woman who has an affair with a married man is doing something wrong. Likewise, any married man who cheats is also doing something wrong. They should be held to the same moral standards. In the Himbo Trope, The Take suggests that the ideal man, the supposed answer to toxic masculinity, is physically attractive, emotionally intelligent, sensitive, and intellectually lacking. A man who doesn't hold himself in high intellectual regard and listens open-mindedly to his female counterparts. I find this highly insulting, particularly to intelligent women. When a woman is intellectual, she usually wants a partner who matches or challenges her mind. Why should highly intelligent women settle for men who don't stimulate them intellectually? This trope comes across as condescending and sexist towards both genders. Shortly after the Himbo Trope, The Take released a video on the Bimbo Trope. Ironically, their take contradicts earlier observations about women. Here, the bimbo is framed as a new kind of empowered feminist, desirable because of her body. The hypocrisy is striking. Feminism once lobbied against traditional femininity. Feminists protested the Miss America pageants of the 1960s. Characters like Lara Croft, who is far from a bimbo, were criticized as sexually objectified for being beautiful and voluptuous, which is why modern iterations depict her with a smaller bust. What about The Take's other videos criticizing the sexual objectification of women? Their video on redheads discusses fetishization. There are analyses of Legally Blonde and the history of the dumb blonde, the cool girl, the female gaze versus the male gaze, and Jennifer's body and the horrific male gaze. Moreover, the take comments several times that it's mainly other women who have a disdain for sexually desirable bimbos, yet instead of calling for women to take accountability, they simply blame the patriarchy. In the good girl trope, the contradictions continue. The take claims fictional good girls can't win because they're portrayed as too perfect and pure, yet provides examples of other women tearing them down. In Sex and the City, Charlotte is mocked by her female friends for her romantic ideals and desire to be a traditional wife. In Greece, the Pink Ladies ridicule Sandy for her innocence. There is little acknowledgement of the historical context of female archetypes, from Judeo-Christian figures like the Virgin Mary, Eve, and Lilith, to depictions in classical mythology. One more gripe I have with the take is that their channel is heavily American-centric and rarely references world cinema. They analyze the same shows and films over and over and constantly frame women as victims and men as problematic. Needless to say, I've seen hundreds of their videos and was once a huge fan. But eventually, I grew tired of their misandry and tiresome woke garbage. If you want to understand how ideological framing works, watch a few of their videos. It isn't pro-women, it's pro-feminist. Why not allow women the full range of human behavior, including accountability? I've written stories with flawed female characters. They're not victims. They are complex, sometimes bad people, and fascinating to write about, and I'd argue to read about. Women can be depicted in countless ways in fiction, just like men. Let's focus on telling stories about interesting people and move past reductive, ideological narratives.